Welcome to Blackwood Manor, a sprawling estate hidden deep within the dense, fog-laden woods of Thornhill. Its towering spires clawed at the sky like skeletal fingers, and the ancient stone walls whispered tales of despair to those brave or foolish enough to approach. Tonight, amidst the howling wind and the eerie rustle of skeletal trees, the manor awaited its newest visitor. Clara had always been drawn to the macabre, a journalist chasing stories that made even the bravest souls shiver. When the tale of Blackwood Manor's haunted cellar reached her ears, she couldn't resist. Armed with a flashlight and her recorder, she pushed open the creaking iron gate, its rusted hinges screaming in protest. The air inside was stale, heavy with the scent of mildew and something far fouler. Each step echoed down the grand, decaying hallway, where faded portraits of the Blackwood family seemed to watch her every move. At the end of the corridor was the cellar door, a jagged wound in the otherwise untouched wood. A single brass handle glinted faintly in her flashlight's beam, inviting her closer. She hesitated, hand hovering over the handle. It was then she heard it, a faint, almost imperceptible whisper. Claire. Her breath caught in her throat. Who's there? She demanded, but the house answered only with silence. Gathering her courage, she turned the handle and descended the stone steps into the abyss. It was dark. Terror moved through her. Ah, she whispered, as she came face to face with the doctor. The cellar was colder than the rest of the manor, unnaturally so. Rows of ancient wine barrels lined the walls, but Clara's focus was drawn to the center of the room. A crude circle was etched into the dirt floor, surrounded by extinguished black candles. At its heart lay a mirror, its surface cracked and cloudy. As she approached, the whispers grew louder, overlapping into an unintelligible cacophony. Her flashlight flickered, and for a moment she was plunged into darkness. When the light returned, the mirror reflected not her own face, but that of a gaunt, hollow-eyed woman. The figure's lips moved, though no sound came. "Show yourself," Clara demanded, but her voice wavered. She pointed. The cellar erupted in chaos. The candles flared to life, their flames an unnatural blue. Shadows twisted and danced along the walls, their forms grotesque and inhuman. The whispers turned to wails, each more agonized than the last. Suddenly, the mirror shattered, its shards spraying outward like glinting daggers. One embedded itself in Clara's arm, drawing blood. She stumbled backward, clutching the wound, as a figure began to emerge from the circle. A woman, the same from the mirror, her form translucent, yet undeniably menacing. "Circa, Lord, you shouldn't have come," the apparition hissed, her voice like the scraping of nails on glass. Clara turned and fled, her footsteps pounding up the cellar stairs. The wails followed her, reverberating through the manor as though the house itself was alive. She burst into the night, her chest heaving, and didn't stop running until the manor was nothing more than a shadow against the horizon. When she reached her car, she collapsed into the driver's seat, shaking. She glanced at her arm, expecting to see the shard still lodged there, but her skin was unmarked. Yet, as she drove away, her rearview mirror revealed a horrifying sight. The gaunt woman from the cellar, sitting silently in the back seat, her hollow eyes boring into Clara's. The next morning, her car was found abandoned on the edge of Thornhill Woods. Of Clara, there was no trace. But Blackwood Manor waits, as it always does, for the next soul curious enough to hear its whispers. "Hey, watch!"